You cannot grasp the fundamental details only by watching a form of an Aikido action. For an unprepared eye, it seems clear what happens, but it's not quite true. The reality is different. You can find it out when you try to repeat such action. The reason for this is that the nature of actions in Aikido is different from what people would naturally do. You would not even suspect there is different spectrum of actions you cannot naturally grasp. It is impossible to explain until you consider your intentions, which stand as the causation of your actions. Behind the actions you observe in Aikido, you technically suppose certain type of intentions without even questioning your assumptions. This is what creates confusion, as the natural assumption, which seems, by the way, logical, is wrong. This is the key to understand how the methodology I offer with Aikido practice instructions can deliver value. By considering your intentions, which stand behind this or that action in the sequence of Aikido movements, you will be highly effective to progress in your Aikido technique studies. Every lesson, besides other Aikido learning methodology tools, has the avoided intentions part, which is aimed to question your intentions as the causation of the influence you try to organize with your actions. As an example, in Shihonage technique performance, which is lesson number 6 of the basic techniques, we can consider how we start the rotation for Shihonage. You can observe that when I take the strategic position, I raise Uke's arm to the top position. Most probably, this is what you have noticed and will try to imitate when asked to demonstrate Shihonage. Pause this video and try to repeat the demonstrated Shihonage. Now listen to the instructions. When you take the strategic position besides Uke and create the control connection, be attentive how you start influencing Uke for Shihonage rotation. Avoid pulling up. The reason why you would pull up is that you saw I pulled Uke's wrist to the top control position and imitate the movement the way you perceived it. So you would also pull it up. You do not see another way to complete such an assignment. And you do not even suspect there is another way. You see what you see and behave the way you would naturally behave, which is pulling Uke's arm upwards. Every attempt to perform such an action will lead to failure, meaning you will create resistance and struggle. So the instruction is this: do not attempt to pull up. This is wrong intention. Such action does not actually exist. Instead, create the tension by extending Uke's arm, leading in the horizontal direction. Physical limitations of the human body will eventually lead Uke's wrist grip to your top position. You do not go straight upwards, as it would seem to you. You rotate in the horizontal plane and keep the control grip in the front plane of your center with rotation. This is how understanding makes learning process highly effective. By being aware of such wrong intentions and by acting several times according to the provided instructions, you will never make this mistake again in your practice. So learn not to be naive with your intentions. Wrong desires lead to the wrong actions. Aikido teaches you different attitudes. You must realize that Aikido techniques are not the implementation of a desire to hurt an opponent. Aikido is about your capability of creation and maintenance of certain connections. In such a way, Aikido teaches you to be in a creative process. This is the essence of Aikido, and this is what you need to be targeting for the best value of your efforts.